Chill. You already know it's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Your boy is back and I done did it again one more time. Listen, guys, today we are going to be doing a job market research, right? We're looking for jobs for new developers like yourself. And we're going to talk about some of the jobs that I found earlier today that are very interesting that every single one of you guys should be applying to or should be looking into. Okay, at least look into it. If you are doing some other random position that you're trying to get into and you're not getting no results, come pay attention to this video. Okay, pay attention to this live stream. Again, we're gonna go in, do the market research, and then from there we're gonna hang out for a little bit, and you guys can ask me questions. Again, like I always do, Q&A, right? Questions and answers. Okay, just put it right here on the chat, and I'll get back to you. Okay. So let's get started, man. You know, I've been looking over here through Indeed, right? And you know how I like to do it, right? I like to start with just HTML, okay? Some of you guys might go in and say, well, I want to go in and I want to go and start searching for front-end developer, back-end developer. I want to start searching for software engineer and this, and that. Listen, if you're focusing on the web, search HTML. That's what you want to search. Okay, you start with searching HTML. Sorry, I don't know, I can't talk today. But start searching with HTML. Okay, and to make it even more precise, you could go in and start with title : HTML, and then from there that will show you all of the jobs that are specifically for HTML. And for the web, right? That's why we put in HTML. It's not like, hey, we want you to be just an HTML developer. No, you need more skills than just HTML. But when you search HTML, that's going to show you everything that has to do with the web. Okay, the job titles are irrelevant. Always remember that. Okay, so yeah, let me see what's out here, right? So for example, this one, HTML developer, right? 90 to 115,000, right? Must be proficient with C, C++, JavaScript, should have knowledge HTML, CSS, qualification, right? Sometimes when you see things like this, you got to know that, guess what? Whoever posts this job board, right? This job description, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because HTML developer, but you're asking for C and C++, like, come on now. All right. Another thing too that you want to do is make sure that you put it in by the date so you can see the latest ones. Okay. See HTML web analyst. Okay. $40 an hour. Okay. Our team is looking for HTML analysts who can help with our HR knowledge-based transformation. This person will have a basic understanding of HTML and ability to convert Word documents into HTML to publish articles into ServiceNow. Okay. So again, when people be like, man, there's no jobs out here, this isn't that, it's because you guys are not searching properly. This is a very good and very easy position. Okay. Look at what they're asking for. They have Word documents, right? Meaning probably articles or maybe some documentation, and they need it to be formatted into HTML, right? This is a great starting point for you guys. You know, sometimes I see people that leave dumb comments on some of my YouTube videos or like, you know, the TikTok videos, and they'll be like, well, this isn't engineering, bro. This isn't a web development, bro. Guys, this is web development, okay? It's part of web development, okay? This is what we call an entry-level position into the industry. Sometimes you want to go in and you want to get the paid $100,000, $200,000 job. Guess what? Not everyone gets that, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to stay at home, sucking on your thumb, doing lead code for 7-8 months. And then from there, taking a whole bunch of freaking online courses and YouTube tutorials and this and that. By the time you're done, you're like 2 years and you haven't really done shit. You haven't put money in your pocket and you have zero experience. So even after you learn all of the skills, you still might not even get a job because you have zero experience. Guess what? This is a very good starting point for anybody. $40 an hour is no joke. Okay. That's not bad. You go in, you bring out the calculator, right? We do it live for you. Okay. Bring out the calculator, right? 40 times 40, right? That's $1,600 a week times 52, right? That's $83,000. That's not bad starting off. Okay. Again, experience level, don't get scared about this. A lot of people's gonna go in and get scared about the experience level. They're gonna get scared about whenever they see 1 year or this and that. Most of these jobs no one is applying to, okay, because most of you guys don't apply to this type of jobs. Okay, so when you go in and you do apply, it's probably you and another 20-30 other guys or girls, whoever's in there, right? 20 folks, okay? But yeah, so this is a great way to get started and get your foot in the door, okay? And in reality, all you're doing is converting these documents to be formatted to work with ServiceNow. Again, it's a CMS. It's a service knowledge management experience, right? So pretty much it's like a CMS, okay? This is why I tell you guys to learn about things like, being able to use something like WordPress, Drupal, Shopify, right? Knowing how to use a CMS and understanding the workflow of it can help you out, even if you've never done something like this, like ServiceNow. If you go in and you build a website through WordPress, you can pretty much use that website that you built through WordPress to be able to apply to this type of jobs, okay? So this is why I tell you guys, learn those skills, all right? Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to all the homies and homegirls that's in here, right? We got David E., Karen, April, Renan, Don Music. Who else we got in here? We got a lot of people in here, okay? Renan, Alentino Antonio, Bree Power, Ant Boy, Super Mario, okay? Super Mario says, only 2,000 jobs? That's not bad. Sometimes some of you guys, y'all get scared. Y'all want to see something that says 200, 300, 400,000 jobs. Folks, that's there, but at the end of the day, like, who cares if you can't get out of those 300,000 jobs, you can't get any positions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people go in and it's like right now, I could go in and search for React or let's say JavaScript, and I'll probably get 50,000 jobs listed. Okay. I'll go in on Indeed and search, for example, JavaScript, right? Which is going to be mentioned a whole bunch of times, right? 42,000 jobs, right? A lot of the jobs that's in here, right? Out of the 42,000 jobs, most new developers could probably only apply and qualify for maybe 5,000 to 4,000 jobs. So this number here is irrelevant, okay? I'm telling you guys right now, it's like someone that knows how to use PHP and knows how to use MySQL, maybe that person can easily learn Perl, right? And if I go in and I search Perl, right? Guess what? There might be only 5,000 jobs that are actually mentioning Perl, okay? And if I go even deeper, I say, well, what are specific for Perl, right? It'll probably be even less, 23 jobs, okay? But I can guarantee you this, right? When people apply to Perl jobs, there's not thousands and thousands of people applying to this position. It's probably 20 to 25 and maybe 100 people applying to one position for Perl. So the numbers, forget about the numbers, Mario, Super Mario, right? Forget about the numbers of how many jobs is there, right? What you care about is, how many applicants are applying to those jobs. I'd rather go in and apply to, let's say, a job that only has, 50 people applying to, right? Than something that has, 5,000 jobs listed, but then at the same time, every single job has 5,000 applicants. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if you understand that, but hopefully you do. Shout out to everybody in here. Matias Osorio says, hi, I'm from Latin America. The work related to web and the typical stack MERN is saturated there. What? Hold on, bro. I got to read this. What does he say? Matias Osorio, hi, I'm from Latin America. The work related to web and the typical stack MERN is saturated there. Yes, MERN stack is saturated in the United States. Everybody, that's what everybody learns. Boot camps teach it, influencers teach it, Udemy instructors teach it. Everybody and the mother is doing MERN stack. Okay, so that means that if you're going that route, you're going the same route that everybody's going, which means more competition, which means more time at home waiting until you get your chance and your opportunity. You know what I mean? So yeah. Tech Job Tina says, happy Father's Day, Joe. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see. Do you think I can start there if I live in Europe? It depends on the type of position and the type of skills that you have. Okay. If you're learning, again, like the MERN stack and you're trying to work here in the US, it's going to be hard, right? You got to be sort of like an expert in your country to then from there get a position here that over somebody that's a local developer, right? Because even here for the local developers, it's hard for them to find a MERN stack job. Now, with that being said, if you learn something that is in high demand but doesn't have a high supply of developers, for example, something like C#, maybe Java, right? Not a lot of people is jumping into Java, right? Maybe you're working with PHP, right? Maybe specializing in some type of CMS system or e-commerce CMS system. Then yeah, you could find a job here in the US pretty easily. But again, you have to go in and specialize in something that doesn't have a high demand that has a high demand for jobs, but then doesn't have a high supply of the developers that's interested in that field. Okay, that's how you hack the game. Okay. Let me see. Reading through here. Reading through here. Super Mario says, if they're paying hourly, you're probably not gonna do 40 hours. I don't know what you're talking about, Super Mario. At this point, I'm ignoring you. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but I don't think you're bringing value. what you're saying is like, yo, the shit says hour. Bro, you're going to see that all the time. Small to medium-sized businesses, they're going to mention the hours. When you go in, you see a company that posts salary range. Yes, there's some companies that do that, but then there's also some companies that go in and show you how much you're going to make per hour. That's it. That doesn't mean that you're only going to get 20 hours, 10 hours, 5 hours. It doesn't work like that. So at this point, I'm ignoring you. God bless you. Right? You're not bringing value. I'm sorry. But yeah, so let's go in and let me continue looking through here. So another really good position that I found earlier, right? Again, is this one, the Adobe AEM front-end developer. Okay. If you are a front-end developer, right? Somebody that's been doing the MERN stack, React, all of that, right? You're comfortable with taking a design and basically building it into HTML, CSS, right? I would definitely suggest looking into Adobe AEM. Okay. Now, AEM is a CMS based off Java, right? And it's an enterprise level CMS. Only the big companies use this. So another thing that I will say, you won't be able to really get, you won't be able to really get, like real, like hands-on experience with AEM unless you really already work at a company that uses AEM. Okay. It's like license based. So it's not like anybody and their mother could just go in and start using AEM. It's not open source. Okay. But if you learn how to use a CMS system, right? Again, I'll bring back WordPress. If you know how to use something like Contentful, which is like a headless CMS, pretty much any CMS, get experience on using CMS systems and being able to create themes or templates for one specific CMS system, you can use that to be able to land positions doing AEM. Okay, because technically what it is just a CMS, and then you're basically connecting, the front end to their component system. Okay, they call it like components. But again, it's pretty much front end work, to be honest with you, right? Again, this is a really good position that I will say anyone that is in the world of front end development or like that likes to do front end, I will really look into learning more about Adobe AEM, because again, they pay a lot of good money. You don't really need a lot of experience in a sense, because there isn't a huge supply of developers for this. Again, there's a high demand for this type of position, right? So, but the supply is not there. So this is where you go in and you pivot. Okay, so for anybody that again is trying to become a developer and you're trying to get hired, you want to use this type of niches, right? Because this is front end development, but you're niching down to a specific system, right? And doing front end development within that system. Okay, and when you do that, you basically carve out your own niche where you could say, okay, cool, I'm a AEM developer, right? And I'm focusing on the front end. And from there, you could even learn how to do some of the back end work, which it shouldn't be that hard, right? Which can open up the doors for other positions within that. This is very similar to like Salesforce. So Salesforce, again, is a CRM, but it's a whole ecosystem. And if you go into the world of Salesforce, you could get started with emails, right? But then from there, learn more about JavaScript later on. And then from there, you could become a Salesforce developer. So all of the CRMs, they have applications too, right? So you could go in and develop applications for Salesforce. Or when you're working at a company as a Salesforce developer, you will create applications or create logic that goes with the business that you're working for. And that's what the position really is. It's really web development, but again, you're using it through their systems. Okay, so this is a great way for you guys to start carving out your own way of, into the industry and just do your own thing. Okay, so let me see. We're in through here. Let me see what else we have. Another one that is really good, right? Email operations associate, right? We also have this one right here. Okay. Let me see, remote, right? This is contract work, $43 to $53 an hour. Okay. Again, you already know how I feel about email developer jobs. It's a great way for you guys to get started with. Okay. There's going to be contract work. There's going to be full-time work. It all depends on what company you go to. A lot of times you'll see situations where there's agencies that they might have like an influx of, clients that's coming in and they might need some extra work. This is where you go in and you take advantage. You go in and say, you know what? Let me apply to this role. Maybe it's a role that could take 6 months, 9 months, right? If it's contract based, right? Do the work there and then continue applying to other places. And then now you could go in and find like a full-time job working for either a digital agency or some type of brand where they need you to do email development full-time. And then now you have basically 2 jobs. And this is like how a lot of the students from CodingPhase.com that have 2 jobs are doing it. One is by contract and then another one is their full-time job. And this way you could go in and start, cranking in, that money where it's like 150, 170. I got a couple of students that's already making $200,000 a year, and that's just on emails. But again, you got to know how to actually do the emails, make sure you know how to test them, how to set up the segmentations, set up campaigns, right? You got to be comfortable with an ESP. It could be, Salesforce. It could be Active Campaign, etc. Right? MailChimp, right? But once you're comfortable with that, the opportunities are there right in front of you. All right. Let me see. Reading through here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see. What do you think about certifications? Does it increase your chances? It depends. Certifications to me, I've never sold the value of it. This is not like IT work. In IT, like you always got to get a new certification, A+ certification. If you're doing cloud, you're doing AWS certification, you're doing this is that Google Cloud certification. Like with web development, it's a little bit different. It's more about, can you do the work? Can you demonstrate your skills? What type of work have you done before? And that's it. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. So yeah, so certifications is not really that important. Now, let's say, for example, you're going to work on something again like Salesforce. Being Salesforce certified, then yeah, that's different. That's like a way to prove that you know the platform. Okay. For example, HubSpot does some certifications. Being certified by HubSpot, if you are a developer with within that niche of HubSpot, right, and CRMs, then that could help you out, right? Because the next guy could show up and he could say, well, I'm a front-end developer. Okay, cool. Everybody here is a fucking front-end developer. Everybody in the mother is a front-end developer, right? But the truth is that this guy, he could be a front-end developer, but he doesn't know HubSpot. This guy could be a front-end developer, but he don't know Salesforce. This guy could be a front-end developer, but he don't know Shopify, the platform, right? So this is where certifications can help you stand out from the rest, okay? So those are one of the cases that I will say, you want to pay attention to certifications. But in general, for like the average job, unless it's like you're niching into a specific industry, like certifications don't mean anything, reading through here, let's see what else we got in here on the chat. Let's see who we got in here. Oliver, what up, Oliver? Let me see, reading through here. MB says, hey brother, I truly appreciate your content. I'm currently learning HTML, CSS. I'm aiming to become a full stack developer and do remote work. I'm from DR. What's your recommendation? Hey, another Dominican brother. Hey, what I would suggest, if you are, let's say, a Dominican right now and you're trying to find some jobs in the US, right? I don't even think that even thinking about like, oh, I want to get a job in the US should be even the number one thing for you, right? What you want to think about is how much money you want to make, right? And how much money you need to survive, right? Once you have that on paper and you say, well, let's say if I earn $5,000 a month, I could live pretty decent. If I earn $10,000 a month, I'm balling in Dominican Republic. So your goal should be, okay, how can I go in and start making $5,000 first? That should be my number one thing, right? So you could live comfortable. So once you have that number, there's a lot of different things that you can do to make $5,000 a month. Again, you have WordPress, right? Any type of CMS systems that you could jump on, that's going to help you get to $5,000 a month. Working with something like PHP Laravel, which is in high demand, but there's not that many people that's doing it. Okay, so those are things like that they'll go in and say, well, let's hire somebody remote for that. Okay, so you go in, you learn a skill that will get you the money that you need, right? That doesn't have that much competition, right? And that also has a need for developers no matter where they're from. So then that will open up the doors for you to go in and get into those roles, and then you can start making your bread, right? So that's how I would tackle it, right? And that's how I tackle everything. I don't tackle shit of like, hey, I want to get this specific job, like, this individual is like, again, we're going to give him some attention, but because I'm reading through the comments and I'm like, some of this shit don't make no sense what this individual saying. There's not that many AEM jobs. Better to focus on React. This is what everyone does. Okay? This is what everyone does. It's like right now, if I search Laravel, right? I don't care if there's not 1 million jobs for Laravel, because I know that not many people are actually learning Laravel. So when I learn Laravel, I'm learning it because I want to get a job. I could care less the thousands of people that is trying to get those other positions. I care about me getting money in my pocket, me getting into a job, and me getting my opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So if I go in and I say, well, I'm going to learn the thing that is the most popular thing, right? Like React. React is great and it's amazing, right? And if you are doing front-end development, you need to learn React. React is pretty much like basics now. It's like JavaScript. It's pretty much, you could say it's like embedded into the web. So no matter where you go, if you're trying to be a full stack developer, no matter what you're trying to do, right, you're going to have to learn React. But if you go in and you say, well, I want to be a React developer, and those are the only jobs that I'm applying to. And guess what? I'm validated because there's 3,000 jobs for React developers, right? Every single month. I'm going to go for this position. But then you don't take into account the amount of people that are also doing the same shit, right? It's just stupid, right? Me in 2023, I'm not focusing on becoming a React developer, right? This is why I don't tell you guys to become a React developer. We teach at CodingPhase.com. By the way, links in the description. Go check it out. We teach React, right? But it's not the main focus. In 2015, right, when I started messing around with React, 2015, 2014, right? If you knew React, or just even know what React was, even 2016 and 2017, if you knew React, it was almost a guaranteed job because no one else knew it. The old head senior developers were not jumping on React. They didn't want to jump off, the regular MVC frameworks that they were working on, Backbone, Angular 1, whatever, right? All the different frameworks that were there. And then this new framework that came out, React, everyone was jumping on it. All the major new startups and even companies were trying to switch from whatever they were using to now using React. So if you learned React at that moment, you almost had a job guaranteed. Now, if you're not taking into account the amount of promotion that React has gotten over the years, and the fact that every single person that if I ask right now, and I go in and I say, out of everybody that's here, how many people know React or have gotten exposure to React? I can guarantee you everyone here is going to say, yes, I know React. I mess with React. I already did like a couple of tutorials on React. I did this. Everybody and their mother knows it now. So it's no longer special. The jobs are there, but because there's, let's say there's 3,000 jobs, but then there's fucking 50,000, 80,000 people looking for a job. So that little 3,000 jobs is not enough to get 50,000, 80,000 people into positions. So going back to the Dominican dude, bro, if you want to get a job from DR, you want to go in and start getting into things that no one is paying attention to. The things that no one wants to do. Again, WordPress. I could say WordPress and it's like fucking, it's like taking a shit in the middle of the living room, right? No one wants to touch it. It's, oh my God, WordPress, PHP, ew, right? This is how some of these dweebs things, right? So guess what? You there for your bread. What do? Somebody got to clean that shit up from the floor. You put a glove and you pick it up and you throw it in the garbage, right? Everybody else that's looking around, I'm not touching it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that, right? They don't got a job. They're on the fucking internet. Some of these dudes, like, shout out to Super Mario, but some of these dudes, they be like, yo, you got to learn this, this, and that. Some of these dudes don't even fucking work. They don't work. They don't do nothing, right? But they'll tell you, you got to start learning this. You got to do this and that. It's like, nah, bro, focus about your bread. Focus about your money. That's what you care about. You don't care about what technology it is, you got to be technology agnostic. Like, I'm here for my bread. You tell me tomorrow, yo, I need you to work on Perl. I'm working on Perl. Yo, I need you to work on Java. I'm working on Java. Hey, Joe, can you go in? We had this old school ASP.NET application. It's been around since, 2006. but it works. It's bringing money to our business to this day. Can you touch it? I'm putting my gloves on and I'm going to go and touch that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about my bag, right? Coming in here with the mentality of like, yo, I want to do just one specific thing. It's a horrible way of thinking, because you could always learn and you could always practice and you could always build whatever you want on your off time. When it comes to making money, when it comes to getting into jobs and getting opportunities, right? You cannot go in there with, I'm only touching this stuff. It's like, nah.